Kayleigh from LiveMix, and I'm here with...
I'm Keith.
I'm Chris.
Where we are scientists.
So how much longer are you gonna wait? I want it. I can tell what you're doing in my head.
How are you guys?
We're alright.
We're the best.
Yeah. So I was going for a slightly more humble approach, but if we're not going to sell ourselves, who will? We're the best.
You're coming up to the end of your tour now. How's it been?
It's been great. It's been exhaustive, which I mean in a good way. We've been very thorough.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to be proud of when we go over the map that we keep in the back of the van, sort of like an FBI, with the yarn connecting all the dots.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it just looks like it's actually just a big ball of yarn we've now affixed to a map. It's not precise, but it's apt.
Like cats.
There's
What will you be doing?
There's an old phrase, no stone unturned. And there's probably a joke related to rock and roll that could be made.
Oh, not another old joke. Like there's an old saying, and there's probably an old joke.
There could be a joke.
I only know one of them, so I'm going to say that.
No, I was thinking some kind of joke.
You'd like to devise one.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Maybe in the comments section, somebody could come up with a good gag about that that we should have used.
Yeah, you guys will give them a very fabulous prize, I'm sure.
Oh, that's generous.
Yeah.
That's awfully generous if it's what I've been thinking about.
It is a Mini Cooper.
Wow.
It's legally binding.
Will you be paying?
Wow.
This is in our publication.
Your
our
advertisers,
media outlet.
Your advertisers will be happy to cover the cost, given the promotional value of a stunt like that.
I mean, this will only be if there's a very good joke made. You understand?
It's got to be it's got to be gold.
We'll run all entries past you then.
Okay.
You know what to do. What will you get up to after this tour?
We've got more touring lined up. We've got a tour of the U.S. and then we come back to the U.K. in December for a few dates. And now we're talking about some dates in January in the U.S. So it's a never-ending cycle. The ball of yarn just gets bigger and bigger.
How have you been choosing your set list to reach out?
For set lists?
Yeah.
I prefer the one that's easiest to read because I'm a little spoiled that way. I usually give him.
Yeah, by the time we've written the third or fourth one, our hands are cramped.
Sometimes we're having to write really large, so it goes over onto the back of the set list. He ends up with that one.
Yeah.
What do you do on your days off? Because obviously you're not consistent every day.
We had one yesterday. Actually.
Yeah, we always try to go to a movie, but we generally fail at that. We succeeded yesterday only in the sense that we saw a movie. We failed in that the movie we saw was Jack Reacher and Never Go Back, which is horrible.
Put it this way, we would never go back to that movie. It's awful.
I've never heard of it.
We also saw the wonderful band, The Big Moon. Where are they from?
London.
London. They're a London band. So that's not very original. They should probably change that.
But we saw them in Sheffield, so they were very out of their element. And I feel like we got a real view of The Big Moon.
Yes.
They're here on Wednesday.
Oh,
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
Just saying. It's Halloween today. Are you dressing up?
we are.
We are indeed.
What costumes?
You'll have to come to find out. This is going up immediately, right?
Is that?
No, that is our mask, but weirdly, that's not going to be worn for Halloween.
Well, our front of house engineer is going to wear it so that we can look at him in the pug mask the whole time.
And I think that's going to be now a long-standing practice.
We might just make him wear it every day.
Yeah.
Are you horror film fans?
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
Oh boy, come on. Now this is ridiculous.
Wow.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson film.
Yeah.
28 Days Later is a pretty
Yeah.
good, straightforward horror film.
I was just thinking about that today as we drove here from Sheffield, because we passed a bunch of windmills and it was not a very windy day and the windmills were dead still. Whenever I see those giant fields of windmills that aren't moving, that seems very apocalyptic to
Yeah,
me.
it
It
feels like
always-
technology has shut down everywhere.
Yeah, it reminds me of 28 Days Later. But yeah, I remember.
Well, that's actually a PR stunt for 28 Days Later. The studio pays for that. They pay for that lost energy revenue.
And are they just doing like a Halloween
No,
showing today?
no, they do this all the time. Just whenever people haven't been viewing 28 Days Later,
Keep people renting it.
they say, is there
I
a batch
think
of windmills we can
that's-
shut down for 48 hours?
Yeah. Jason X is my favorite horror movie.
God. Yeah, I should have said Jason. Stupid. Stupid.
I'll have to watch it because I've never heard of it.
Very-
Never heard of it?
It's part of the Friday the 13th series. So it's
Ah,
the 10th
right, that makes
entry.
sense.
It's the 10th entry, but it's just called Jason X.
Have
And
you
it's a-
seen any of the Friday the 13th?
We watched the first one, didn't we? Yeah, in a tent.
Can you confirm that?
We did.
In a tent, so.
So you still haven't actually ever seen Jason, the hero killer of the Friday the 13th
So I
series?
don't think so.
We waited the whole film for him and he never appeared.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I guess he leaps out of the lake at the end, but he's not the Jason you come to know.
You'll be very surprised in Jason X when you see him. He takes on such wonderful new
Does he take the
dimensions.
mask off?
He does
He
take the
gets
mask
the
off.
mask taken off a couple times throughout the series. It's
Yeah.
a good one though. This is a good one.
Yeah. This one takes place in the future, you see. And
You have to understand this.
it's like, I don't know if it's hundreds or 1,000.
yeah, I think
just
it's,
hundreds? Just a couple hundred?
Yeah.
I think maybe just a couple hundred. But it's sufficiently in the future that man has sort of colonized space, at least nearby, and there are like mining ships and research vessels and stuff like that. And Jason, way back in the 20th century, was frozen in a cryogenic stasis because I don't know if they had essentially found him to be unkillable or just they very humanely decided he could not be kept, animate.
Yeah, that was what that
So
was.
so it's not that they could, although he does seem to be essentially unkillable in the movies, but yeah, so they freeze him and he's accidentally awakened by a student ship that I think actually is full of researchers of like criminology, right?
No, I don't
Like, aren't they looking?
Well, no, they're anthropologists,
Right.
And I think the prologue of the movie
Oh, right.
also
Where
takes
he gets
place
awakened.
way in the future from now,
Right.
in kind of like a future jail or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like somehow they discover his body, then he's accidentally cryogenically frozen, and then hundreds of it's a huge series of mishaps.
Anyway, there's an android.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's got Jason, an android. What more do you want?
It makes up for the first Friday the 13th in terms of screen time for Jason.
Absolutely.
You see a lot of Jason.
What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
Seeing Jason X.
Yeah. Literally saying the words, one for Jason X, please. It's terrifying. Terrifying.
We've stayed in some hotels that were pretty scary. Just in their,
Like in their
weird
likelihood
disrepair.
of giving you scabies kind of situation.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of one?
I was thinking of the one. What was the one that it was in Birmingham? It was just called like the Birmingham Hotel or something. And we had that extra room that we didn't even want to stay in. We just chose to all huddle in one.
Yeah,
of
we
the
all
rooms.
stayed in one room because we were so scared of another room that someone should have been sleeping in.
It's definitely like a 1409 type.
1408.
1408.
We were in 1409.
1409.
Safely,
Yeah, didn't we stay in a 1408 somewhere? Like right around the time that we saw that movie? I feel like we did.
I can't even remember that year. I was so scared of 1408.
And then what was the weird thing where we recently stayed in the same room as you and Sari?
Yeah, that wasn't that scary.
It wasn't 1408. That wasn't.
We had a recent episode where 2 different parties in 2 separate hotels had the same room number.
And it wasn't like 110 or something. It was like a pretty weird. It was like
1408.
1408.
1408. So that was actually the scariest thing.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fears?
Biggest fears?
That maybe they've stopped making Friday the 13th movies. That they may have stalled out on 10.
There's no reason to think that could be
It's
true.
taking so long. What's taking so long?
They're making
Well, I guess
perfect.
I guess Michael Bay remade them. So how long has that been since that one?
I don't know.
That may have killed off. Maybe that's finally what killed Jason.
Killed
That
society's
piece of crap
desire
movie.
for him to exist. Yeah. Gods are a manifestation of society's need, so if we don't need Jason anymore after Michael Bay's films, then he won't come. Shit. Our drummer is petrified of spiders.
Oh, I took a good photo of a spider I almost walked into yesterday in Sheffield.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry.
You stupid.
You're dead, Nico. You're dead. You
That's
decide
Nico.
your own
He's
death
an
warrant.
idiot.
Yeah, you walked into a spider.
Oh yeah, there's a spider about that big, just kind of dangling in the middle of the sidewalk. I was hoping you guys were gonna walk the route I took so he could be surprised. But it was very dark out, and I almost walked directly into it. It was about there, hanging. I took a photo. It's not that scary. Without scale, and I didn't want to put my hand right up against it for scale.
Yeah.
Because the minute it saw me, its mandibles started working, and it had one, protuberance. What do you call it? Little leg, guys? I guess leg had one leg kind of reaching toward me, and its eyes were squinting with the effort.
Oh man. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's him. That's why he just left. He knew we were talking about spiders.
He could tell this was a spider conversation.
Your last album was out in April. Are you writing anything else at the moment?
There's been writing for the next record. Haven't really done much work on it. But there's writing. We've been writing about it. Saying we should really get writing.
Experiences.
We write emails to each other.
Been gathering experiences.
Yeah.
Which is the direct fuel for the writing itself.
Yeah, so actually we've been working very hard on it.
It's like how you have to
Gathering.
gas up your car before you take your journey. But if you were to say, if you started the journey yet and all the person had done is like gas the fuck out of the car, they'd have to be like, well, no, I haven't started yet, but I've made a very important preparation.
What kind of experiences?
Well, I mean, look, I feel like
Hotel room thing.
Yeah, I feel like in the, everybody's day-to-day life is so mundane. It would make for a pretty boring record if we were drawing on our experiences. So I've just been watching I've been sitting at home ordering in and watching just movie marathons. All the Austin Powers on rotation.
Love Guru.
A lot of pretty I'm having crazy experiences vicariously.
Yeah.
Through Austin Powers and Love Guru and So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Wayne's World.
Both Wayne's World.
2.
Both Wayne's Worlds.
Yeah.
Wayne's World's a good film.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a great album. I've watched Wayne's World
Grist
probably
for the mill.
15 times in the past 3 months.
You gotta absorb
At
it.
home, it's a Thai piled up in front of me. Just
Plates of Thai
noodles,
food.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to be your costume?
That's
Wayne's World.
Yeah. And Wayne's World too.
that was Scott. He's probably the nicest member of the other band.
What's your drink of choice on tour?
We've been pretty disloyal on this
Yeah.
tour. We've flitted around like a bunch of dilettantes. Usually we're pretty dedicated tequila drinkers, but this is a bad island for tequila.
Yeah, we've been mixing it up pretty aggressively. And I think part of the fear is that, if you spend too much time invested on your favorite, you'll lose a taste for it after a while.
Right. Although that hasn't happened with you and Mike Myers films.
No, not yet. Yeah, my love is still only growing. I assume at some point up there's going to be a threshold.
It's got to taper off or at least plateau.
Yeah.
Can't keep
Not
getting
yet.
better.
Admittedly, not
How
yet.
can it keep getting better? I
I
don't
don't know,
understand
it does. It just does.
What's your most embarrassing moments?
This is
the
up
first
there.
time you stopped talking.
Yeah.
This is up there.
Yeah, not being able to like communicate any semblance of like normalcy or humanity by having an embarrassing story to tell is pretty embarrassing.
It is itself a tremendous embarrassment. Yeah. Yeah.
But by experiencing it now, I'm sort of absolving myself of that lapse.
Yeah. You're thawing out
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
right before the camera's big glassy eye.
So I guess that wasn't so embarrassing after all, was it? But now I can't think of an embarrassing moment again. This is a pretty vicious
Oh man.
cycle.
If you were being interviewed by one of the detectives in Blade Runner to determine whether you were a replicant or not, you'd be really having a hard time. Can't decide.
Have you had a lot or you just can't think of it?
Oh, we've had plenty of embarrassing moments.
Presumably. We assure you.
Go
Just
for the
like
one that
anyone else.
sticks the most, because that's obviously the most embarrassing.
This wasn't really embarrassing, but it's embarrassing to talk about publicly or on camera. But one time we were staying in a motel in Los Angeles. This is embarrassing for you, by the way. Not me.
Yeah, no, I saw where you were going with this. You're telling a story about when you crapped all over the...
No!
Oh.
We've never told that story. We were staying in a hotel. We'd gotten really drunk on tequila that night, I assume, since we were in California, which is tequila opening the door. And it caught on the little, safety latch or whatever. So it was only open a crack. And then I heard him start peeing. And he was peeing out the crack in the door just into the motel hallway, thinking presumably that he was at the toilet.
That's what's embarrassing. You were wrong.
He did. Okay, so he did. And then he came over and crawled into my bed. I got in the other bed. And then first I walked over. No, I got up, walked over, closed the door. And also stood in the wet puddle on the ground. But I was sufficiently drunk and blotto that I didn't wash out my face. I just went and got in my bed, went to sleep. That was a good night.
It'd have been worse if you peed there as well.
Yeah, if I was like, I guess this is where we pee now.
This is a weird bathroom, but he knows.
That guy just said.
It's verified that
Yeah.
this is what it is.
So final question, just to summarise everything, what's next for you?
A couple more beers, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Wayne's World 2 if there's time before our set.
There's always time. We can push the set.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah, unless my enjoyment has plateaued.
Well, we know
Doubtful.
we're getting to the end of
Doubtful.
the movie. Yeah, that's doubtful. Pretty unlikely.
But that's how I tell myself that it's reasonable to begin a screening of Wayne's World 2 now. Maybe I won't like it as much this time and I'll be able to stop in time for our show.
You'll be free of it.
Yeah.
You could just play it for the crowd. They might like it.
Yeah, it's for me. This is time for me. Do a crew experience, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.